Welcome. The Passive Sampling Update team is proud to present an overview of the PFASsive Peeper sampling technology. This quick video will provide a high-level overview of the device as well as instructions on how to use, deploy, and retrieve the PFASsive device. For more information on this and other passive sampling technologies, please visit the Passive Sampling Technology Update Guidance document. Peeper samplers are rigid structures that are equipped with one or more water-filled chambers that are covered with a semi-permeable membrane or mesh and rely on diffusion of chemicals from the aqueous environment into the water-filled Peeper chamber to reach equilibrium. There are three styles of Peeper samplers: plate, cylinder, and bottle. Each of these samplers can be deployed to various aqueous media or to sediments for evaluating pore water. The technology can be used for sampling a variety of chemical parameters. In this video, we will be focusing on the PFASsive Peeper sampler, a bottle-type Peeper sampler used exclusively for PFAS in aqueous media or sediment pore water. The following is an overview of the PFASsive technology as well as instructions on how to use, deploy, and retrieve the device. The PFASsive Peeper sampler is an equilibrium-type rigid sampler used for sampling groundwater, surface water, and sediment pore water. The PFASsive sampler is a bottle-style Peeper containing water spiked with a known concentration of a performance reference compound and sealed behind a porous membrane. During deployment, the Peeper bottles equilibrate to surrounding aqueous media and are retrieved after the proper residence time. The PFASsive bottles come shipped from the manufacturer in sealed bags. The bottles must be kept cool until they are deployed. The housing used in this video is for deployment to surface water. The 3D printed plastic housing has 4 spaces to hold the 60 milliliter Peeper bottles during deployment. Wings can also be attached to the housing to provide stability while the sampler is deployed into the water column. The wings can be removed from the device and can be inserted into sediments to sample pore water. Your field sampling plan should determine the depth and location at which the sampler will be deployed. A sandbag weight can be tied to the sampler to hold the device at the desired depth. When ready for deployment, open a sealed bag of the PFASsive bottles and remove them from the packaging. Insert the bottles into the housing, ensuring the membrane faces out. Be careful not to pierce the membrane of the bottles. Once all of the bottles are inserted, tie a piece of rope to the top of the sampler. The sampler is now ready to be deployed. Carefully place the weight and sampler into the water and lower the sampler to the desired depth. Ensure your sampler is at the correct depth and tie the rope to a firm point on land. When the desired residence time is achieved, return to the sample location. Have your laboratory-supplied bottles ready to transfer the contents of the Peeper bottles. Retrieve the sampler by gently lifting the housing from the water. Once the device is retrieved, remove each of the Peeper bottles from the plastic housing by carefully pushing on the bottom of the Peeper bottle. Be sure not to puncture the membrane at the other end. Remove any residue or sediment that may have built up on the Peeper bottle using PFAS-free DI water. Be sure not to transfer any residues on the outside of the bottles into the laboratory-supplied bottleware. Unscrew the lid and remove the membrane of each Peeper bottle and transfer the sample into the laboratory-supplied bottles. Immediately place the filled sample bottle in a plastic-lined cooler with ice for shipment to the laboratory. Some of the key advantages of all Peeper-style devices are: when deployed to sediments, Peepers can collect a more representative pore water concentration. The samplers are relatively cost-effective while also being simple and easy to deploy. Bottle-style Peepers can be deployed to deep monitoring wells. For recurring sample events, the Peeper housing can be reused after decontamination. The HRPP and SHRPP devices can provide high-resolution and vertical profiling and can be used as an alternative to installing monitoring wells. Some limitations include the bottles, membranes, and other parts of the sampler may not be reusable. When deploying to surface water, a cost savings may be difficult to achieve. Peeper membranes are fragile, and users must be aware not to puncture the membranes during setup, retrieval, and sampling. Remember, you can learn more about Peeper samplers and others in the ITRC Passive Sampling Update online guidance document.